Dr. Jeff down here in Costa Rica. I'm excited to talk to you today about a couple things. I've been doing a lot of research lately, digging into, not doing myself research, but digging into research articles that are showing the benefits of ayahuasca. And there's been a few studies lately and some new ones that are really interesting that show a lot of different improvements that people are achieving with using ayahuasca as a modality to help them with certain mental health issues. Now at Rythmia, we have a program that helps you connect with who you are, understand what you're showing the world that maybe isn't authentically you, and plug back into the true you, and then get the healing that you deserve, that you've been, pushing away and waiting to heal, because it's a little daunting sometimes to heal past traumas. So we have a program that works on connecting you with yourself. And as a result of that program that we have, the guests that we have, and we've had over 16,000 people through here, the guests report that they are having improved symptoms with their depression, improved symptoms with their anxiety, and people are improving their trauma, and they're working on trauma. And also veterans of the military that have PTS, they're working on that, and they have these great results that they're telling us about. Now, one thing that I was really finding interesting in this research that I'm looking at is that eating disorders are greatly helped it's by ayahuasca. And how would that work? So helps people improve a sense of self-worth. It helps them have a more accurate and positive body image. It also helps them find more appreciation for themselves. And so it's kind of like this self-love concept that is improvement also in their sort of understanding about themselves. The way I like to explain it is if I'm struggling with an issue, and I could go talk to somebody about it, and that can be helpful. But if I can do the work myself and figure it out for myself, that's much more valuable, because I've made the realizations and they've really sunk in with me because I figured it out myself and I did the work. So that is a lot about what Rythmia is that we have a lot of counselors here and a lot of people that are pointing you in the right direction and providing a safe environment, but they're allowing you to do the work. And for people that have eating disorders, they need to do their own work, but they need the support around them to do so. So how does this work? Well, there's a concept called ego syntonic and ego dystonic. And I've talked about these concepts before in these Facebook Lives. So if somebody is, we've all been in this position before where, we're kind of like, we're seeing the world in one way. It's maybe one dimensional. And we believe that everybody is seeing the world in the same way. And that's just not accurate. Everybody sees the world differently, because we're all different people. But if I have some problems in my life, some depression or some anxiety or some unresolved trauma, and I'm seeing the world in one way, and I think everybody else is, that can hinder my recovery. That can hinder my ability to be successful in my life. And this sort of way of viewing the world and thinking everybody else is the same is a problem, because it's not the case. And everybody's not going to respond to the same things that I do in the same way. And so what ayahuasca allows you to do is allows you to step back from yourself and view yourself almost in what we call an ego dystonic way, which means that you can see yourself and you can see what you're working on, and you can almost give therapy and counseling to yourself. It's like an awareness that you can step back from and analyze you. And that's why this is really powerful. Now, another concept is with psychedelics in general, because psychedelics are becoming very, prominent in a lot of parts of the world. The U.S. has accepted in certain states, certain psilocybin and MDMA and ketamine and things like that. But what is a common theme for psychedelics in general is that they go into the brain and then they reorganize the neuron pathways that have become jumbled and chaotic and rigid and are not serving you. So, through our lives, we have biases, we have traumas, we have fears, we have confusion, we have misunderstandings, but we also have healthy ways of living and survival skills and a lot of different ways that we are living our existence. And these sort of routine pathways that exist in the brain have become sort of locked in a certain way. And a lot of them are really helpful and good, and some of them are not so great. And so it's really hard to shift one of these pathways that's not helpful to you into a different way of thinking and existing. But with the help of psychedelics, and in particular ayahuasca, what happens is those neuron pathways almost lift up and get reset in a way that's more beneficial. It's like a reset to your neurochemistry. And that allows you to not feel the old way that you used to feel. And it helps you move forward in a better, more manageable way that's more getting you I'm just thinking in Spanish, I'm éxitos. It's getting you success. Sorry, I live in Costa Rica for 10 years. I speak Spanish. So, what the good thing to think about when you're using ayahuasca or sitting with ayahuasca, and if you're coming to Rythmia, is that this program is tailored specifically to help you realize three main intentions. Number one, show me who I've become. So what are you showing the world that's not authentically you? Number two, connect with my soul at all costs. Merge back with who I am as a person. No longer be dissociated, but connect. And in that connection process, heal all of the past emotional trauma that you've experienced. And that's our program. And that's why this works so well. And as a result of that comes all these benefits that guests report to us that is confirmed by the literature, research for depression, anxiety, and trauma, and eating disorders, and all kinds of personality disorders. When I was in school, I learned that personality disorders, and there's 10 of them, they're not curable. That's what I learned. And that people are rigid, they're stuck in this. They can improve symptoms, they can have self-awareness, they can kind of use tools to, help themselves. And there's a lot of strategies for that are really helpful. However, it was considered in psychiatry and psychology, this is a locked in way that you are, that's difficult and problematic. And I never really quite believed that. Like when I was a student and a postdoc, it didn't make sense to me. Like, how can a dysfunctional way of existing, how can that never be worked on and shifted? So what we're finding with the Rythmia program and with ayahuasca is it is absolutely helping people get past those symptomologies, and it's helping them shift out of those personality disorders and move forward in a way that's really helpful. One of the main ones that we've seen here work well is borderline personality disorder. That does very well with this program and with plant medicine. So if you guys are struggling with all these different things and you want to connect with yourself and you want to have a structured program that's 1 week long out of your life, come down to Rythmia and check us out, and we'll hook you up with what we're doing down here, and you'll love it. It's a beautiful place. Thanks for watching.